Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Usman Ali and we are in the last video of the future contract. That's the fourth numerical of the future contract. So what I've done is, in order to save time, I have already solved the question. I will just give an overview, a very brief overview to the answer of the question. So on August 6th, we have signed a yen to dollar, Japanese yen to US dollar future contract, and want to sell our Japanese yen at a price of 1 Japanese yen is equal to 0.00812. The initial margin that we have is 4,590 and the maintenance margin is 3,400. Now the settlement prices of the August 7, August 8, August 9 and August 10 are given. So this one is for August 7, August 8, August 9 and August 10. The quantity that we wish to sell is 12 million and 5 lakh Japanese yen. So that's the information on the contract. Let's see the answer of the question. So we had a strike price given in the numerical. You can cross verify that. The quantity 12.5 million. We multiplied the strike price with the quantity and we got the contract value. The initial margin and the maintenance margin were directly given to us. So we had a deposit of initial margin with the clearinghouse, the buyer and seller both. By the way, we are the sellers, okay? Then on August 9, the new price is given in the numerical. We multiplied that with quantity to calculate the new contract value, and then we subtracted the old contract value from the new one. So we got as a seller we got a profit of 2,625, and as the buyer will have a loss. So the addition subtraction is done and the remaining balances at the end of day 1 are calculated. If you see, the seller balance is 7,215, which is okay with the maintenance margin, but unfortunately the buyer balance is less than 3,400 maintenance margin. So buyer will receive a margin call of $1,435 so that his balance at least equals the maintenance margin requirement of 3,400. So the adjusted day 1 balances will be 3,400 for the buyer and 7,215 for the seller. Then we move towards the August 8 adjustment. Our new price is given in the numerical. We multiplied that with the quantity to calculate the new contract price. Then the contract value of August 8, which is the new contract value, minus the old one, that's August 7. So there is a positive $6,750 difference. This shows a profit for the buyer because the price of the Japanese yen has actually increased, as you can see here. So it's a profit to the buyer and loss for the seller, which we are the sellers actually. After the subtraction and addition, we got a balance. Buyer is okay with the maintenance margin, but seller has $465 only remaining in the account. So that's very much obvious that the seller gonna receive a margin call. How much margin call? Margin call of $2,935, so that the seller gets at least a balance of 3,400 in order to meet the maintenance margin requirement. And obviously the buyer has not deposited anything by the name of margin call, so the buyer balance will remain unchanged. Then we entered into the 4-day calculation. Same procedure, the new contract value and then new contract value minus the old contract value, and then the same process is followed also here till the last day, which is August 10, and our remaining balances are 11,650 and 8,025. I am very briefly recording the video because you have now a good practice on the calculations of the future contract because of our previous videos. Okay, so once the contract life has matured, it's the settlement date. So the buyer is supposed to pay the last day contract value. The last day contract value is $1,07,125. So he gonna pay it, that's why it's in minus, and the seller will receive these dollars, that's why it's in plus. Beside this, the buyer will receive whatever is remaining in his account, and the seller will also receive whatever is the remainder value in the account with the clearinghouse. So 1160 is received by the buyer and $8,025 are received by the seller. The initial margin was a cash outflow actually when they deposit it, so for the buyer and seller it remains same. Then buyer only had one margin call of 1435, which can be seen here, and there is no index in this column, there is no other margin call. Whereas the seller has two margin calls actually, and both of them are here, MC, and this is also second MC. Okay, so upon the addition and subtraction, the buyer will pay 1,05,000 USD to the seller of the Japanese yen, and the seller of the yens gonna receive 1,01,500 actually, which was 101500 if you remember, which was actually our contract value here, 101500. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a future contract, and that's how it works. The calculations that we have done is actually called as mark to market adjustment. Thank you very much. Stay safe.